Good evening. This is the main news broadcasting live from our Montrose studios here in Bulawayo. My name is Dora Ngube. Nobu Mawunga interpreting the bulletin in sign language. And in our leading stories tonight, National Development Strategy 2 in motion as stakeholders map their medium to long-term targets. In other news, the police probe over 130 scamming cases. Zimbabwe Football Association launches sports management program. That and more in our sports news. But for now, we look at our leading story. The National Development Strategy 2, NDS2, has taken effect with stakeholders mapping their medium to long-term targets amid calls for discipline and strong corporate governance structures within key institutions for the successful implementation of the 5-year economic blueprint.
The implementation of National Development Strategy 2 is hinged on peace, unity, coupled by structures within institutions that will observe good corporate governance. This has been the rallying call by stakeholders across the country who believe the implementation and unity among citizens will play a critical role towards the attainment of Vision 2030 goals.
A lot has been gained from NDS1. We already have the foundations, but what needs to be done, obviously, maybe for NDS2 to give us the desired results is a situation where we strengthen our monitoring and evaluation frameworks, our monitoring and evaluation systems. Apart from a strong M&E system, you also need a very committed public service that will put the country first, but also more importantly, that will deliver the services and the goods that are needed to achieve the objectives of NDS2.
It's something which is very good, which has been done with the Second Republic, starting from the phase 1. We are now into the second one. And I think as the government management, they've come to see the weakness in the phase 1, and through the Ministry of Finance, they're going to implement what failed to be done in phase 1. But what we are looking as experts for us for it to be successful is good corporate governance.
The Second Republic has been vigilant in terms of the implementation of economic blueprints, which has been witnessed by the implementation of the Transitional Stabilization Program, which was launched in 2018, and the National Development Strategy 1, now the National Development Strategy 2, which are playing a critical role towards macroeconomic stabilization. President Emmerson Mnangagwa has been on record calling for stronger institutions and transparency in the implementation of the economic blueprints for their success.
Unity, peace, security and the integrity of our national institutions remain the required solid foundation upon which we must successfully implement the NDS number 2. Hence, the strategy must entrench and deepen transparency, accountability. Our fight against corruption across all sectors will continue unabated. Zimbabwe will also continue to uphold international commitments on human rights, on peace and security, while fostering dialogue, national unity and rule of law. With regards to the diplomatic and international relations front, we remain guided by our enduring philosophy that Zimbabwe is a friend to all and an enemy to none.
The National Development Strategy 2 has 10 pillars which will guide ministries, government departments, and the private sector towards meeting the aspirations of citizens. Bruce Chawanda, SABC News, Harare.
Zimbabwe has operationalized tax incentives for industry and commerce in a move expected to provide relief for local firms and facilitate growth.
It is a relief for some strategic sectors of the economy, as Zimbabwe's treasury has fulfilled its pronouncements made in the 2026 national budget. We spoke to a tax expert, Mr. Simbarashi Amudi, who welcomed the idea.
They promote foreign direct investments. And if you look at the sectors and services that have got those investments, they would then bring in investors, which would then create employment.
But to what extent will industry and commerce benefit from the tax relief incentives?
With the tax regime that has now been pronounced and now being effected, you will find that a lot of companies, especially the small to medium, will actually benefit more and be able to not only benefit from the reduction, but also be able to comply in terms of tax payments. Yes.
In terms of the tax incentives strategy, the government is focusing towards helping companies in terms of importing equipment and machinery towards enhanced production with a move to create more employment opportunities.
This really speaks to the ease of doing business. It speaks to the empowerment and facilitation of trade. It also speaks to, the fact that our government can listen to the people and can listen to some of our issues as industry.
The 2026 national budget, which is focusing on growing the economy, has identified tax incentives for industry and commerce as important in terms of consolidating current gains on the overall rise in capacity, as well as positioning Zimbabwe as a favorable destination for local and external investors. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
Government is engaging the business community to expedite the regularization of ownership structures in sectors reserved for Zimbabwean citizens.
Last year in December, government introduced the new policy guidelines requiring foreigners owning businesses in certain reserved sectors of the economy to submit their plans to the Ministry of Industry and Commerce to regularize their ownership by relinquishing at least 75% of their stakes in these businesses. This Tuesday, the Minister of Industry and Commerce hosted several business member organizations in order to outline the process of expediting these new policy guidelines and also hear concerns from other concerned parties on how the process is going to unfold.
We want to continue to thank government for this effort. The major issues that we raised are clear. The people that came, investors that came in to invest in mining, took up opportunities to also bring in trucks to make, and they ensured that they mine and also transport their product. This is not correct.
When you look at clearing agents, it's not a massive investment. So it makes sense that locals, they actually operate in that sector.
If any serious investor comes to Zimbabwe, surely they have got to be looking at highly intensive or capital intensive projects.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, Dr. Thomas Ushewutet, said this policy stance is intended to ensure maximum citizen participation in the economy.
When you're looking at these empowerment initiatives, we were saying we now need to go to business and to actually debrief business on what we have covered so far and what are the expectations that we should get from business. So today's meeting was very important as the minister took time to do an executive briefing to the business leaders of Zimbabwe.
Courtesy of the Second Republic's Open for Business mantra, the economy has received a massive inflow of capital into several sectors of the economy, driving investment in sectors such as manufacturing, agriculture, tourism, and manufacturing. But because of the lack of regulation, other foreigners have taken advantage. Hence, they've dominated in other sectors that have been deemed low-hanging. Hence, this policy stance by government is intended to ensure massive citizen participation and also free those sectors from foreign competition. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
The First Lady, Dr. Gzilia Mnangagwa, has paid a tribute to Rangers, describing them as the first line of defense in the protection of the country's wildlife. She was speaking at the graduation ceremony of Rangers in Chinhoyi this Tuesday. First Lady Dr. Kuzilia Mnangagwa, who is the country's wildlife ambassador, has saluted the newly graduated Zimbabwe Parks and Wildlife Management Authority, ZimParks Rangers, describing them as the last and important part of Zimbabwe's wildlife policy. Dr. Mnangagwa made these remarks during the Rangers graduation parade at Chinhoyi Caves this Tuesday. There were 118 graduates, comprising 85 males and 33 females, who completed a 3-month basic ranger training course. Dr. Mnangagwa commended the young men and women for their discipline, patriotism, and willingness to serve under challenging conditions. The program kicked off with Dr. Mnangagwa touring the exhibition stands, where she engaged with conservation stakeholders and saw innovative solutions to environmental challenges. She witnessed demonstrations of modern equipment like drones and techniques being used to protect wildlife and promote sustainability. Representatives from the Forestry Commission highlighted the need for miners and tobacco farmers to plant trees such as the gum in areas they operate in as part of the reforestation drive. Dr. Mnangagwa was also shown various products made from recycled materials. The event's highlight was a high-energy drill display by rangers showcasing their precision and professionalism. The ceremony culminated in a guard of honor inspected by ZimParks board chair Dr. Agrippa Sora. The wildlife ambassador Dr. Mnangagwa, who was the guest of honor, then proceeded to address the gathering, where she celebrated rangers, highlighting that she values their hard work, patriotism, and resilience, acknowledging the challenges they go through to protect wildlife.
A ranger's job is never for the faint-hearted. The security of the country's wildlife resources is effectively in your hands, as you are the first line of defense, and only few people are privileged to bear such great responsibility. Rendering such a national service requires discipline, a deep sense of patriotism, and an unshakable loyalty to our great country, Zimbabwe. You were trained to walk long distances, carrying heavy loads, and living on dry rations, but your comfort should come from the knowledge that you are protecting Zimbabwe's heritage. Hence, you rank among the country's finest young men and women. You are joining the authority at a time when we are engaged in a serious battle with armed and unarmed poachers. To combat poaching, the authority has embraced the use of drone technology to monitor illegal activities throughout the country. Deployment of specially trained dogs in strategic areas to detect wildlife products like ivory and horns, as well as for tracking poachers.
The First Lady also paid glowing tribute to the rangers for the effective wildlife conservation efforts, noting that the country's sustained anti-poaching initiatives have yielded significant results, with a notable decline in the loss of key species.
I'm happy to announce that key species lost to poaching has reduced drastically and continues on a downward trend from 53 elephants to 23 rhinos lost in 2019 to only 2 elephants and 2 rhinos so far lost in 2025. Well done, congratulations, Wanawang. I would want to congratulate ZimParks for this great job, particularly your rangers for this achievement. In addition to putting boots, patrol teams are supported by electronic surveillance technologies such as drones and global positioning systems and related software applications. The authority is integrating artificial intelligence in its operations to counter emerging threats, to monitor animal movements and habitat changes over time, predict disasters, and to detect wildlife crime. It is, however, unfortunate that we have lost more than nearly 400 human lives due to human-wildlife conflicts and recorded more than 453 injuries in the past 5 years. Despite the many challenges, there has been significant improvement in the authority's mobility as new vehicles are being continuously acquired, mainly through our conservation support initiatives. The government continues to look for more resources to improve the operational capability of the authority.
The wildlife ambassador also talked about the significance of the Parks and Wildlife Management Bill, which was recently enacted as the Parks and Wildlife Management Amendment Act of 2024, following its signing by His Excellency President Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa last December. Dr. Mnangagwa also highlighted that the training program aligns with Zimbabwe's heritage-based education 5.0 philosophy, which equips rangers with core field skills, wildlife and ecosystem management knowledge, law enforcement capabilities, and modern surveillance techniques to meet emerging conservation challenges. She added that Zimbabwe is implementing its wildlife economy strategy under National Development Strategy 2, integrating conservation into the mainstream economy while creating new value chains such as the export of value-engineered elephant leather products. Dr. Mnangagwa then congratulated the new rangers on their achievements while presenting them with certificates and gifts. One of the graduates, Mr. David Kamjangwari, thanked the First Lady for leading from the front in conservation matters while rallying his fellow rangers to serve with integrity.
Your wise words during your address have left a lasting impression on us all. We have listened, we have learned, and we are inspired to incorporate your guidance into our daily duties and lives beyond this training. Please be assured, Your Excellency, that we are committed to honoring your message and serving our nation with dedication and integrity.
The event underscored the vital role played by rangers, not only as wildlife protectors, but also as catalysts for change and leaders in shaping the future of conservation. Colette Msanyera, ZBC News, Chinoi. Government has underscored the importance of accountability and effective service delivery by local authorities to improve livelihoods in line with Vision 2030. This came out during a local authorities contracts validation workshop held in Bulawayo this Tuesday.
The engagement brought together mayors, chairpersons, town clerks, secretaries and chief executives from local authorities across the country, with improving service delivery topping the agenda.
We can talk about service delivery, delivering water, improving roads in broad, almost vague terms. But there's no fooling residents. Residents know when they don't have water in their tap. Residents know when they can't get to their homes because their roads are in such bad shape. Residents know when there's sewage in their kitchen. Residents will be the ultimate judge, and they will judge us, particularly those of us who are elected.
Tikatambira zvikuru kwazvo message yauya na Minister Garwe inova iyo yabva kuna President vaMnangagwa vachitaura nezvekugadzirisa maguta nekupa vanhu ugaro hwakanaka, ugaro hwakajekerera munyika yese.
Addressing delegates at the engagement, the Minister of Local Government and Public Works emphasized the need for unity of purpose and results-oriented leadership in local authorities.
The expectations of the Ministry of Government and, most importantly, of citizens are legitimate and clear. Local authorities exist to deliver services efficiently, effectively, lawfully and sustainably. To deliver services to the citizenry in an efficient, effective, sustainable and diligent manner. Our mandate spans from water supply and wastewater management, solid waste collection and disposal, including segregation of at source and recycling, road infrastructure, environmental protection and management, civil protection in the face of increasing climate-related hazards, and social protection for vulnerable communities. These are matters of public health, safety and dignity, and they demand competent leadership and disciplined execution.
In November 2023, President Emmerson Mnangagwa launched the Call to Action, No Compromise to Service Delivery Blueprint, aimed at modernizing local authorities to improve service delivery and achieve Vision 2030.
Zimbabwe and India are exploring new avenues of cooperation in the energy sector, particularly for solar and hydropower projects. This comes as Zimbabwe prepares to host the SADC Energy Week in Victoria Falls next month.
India has always been very close to Africa, and us in Southern Africa, we have a lot of Indian community, and that Indian community is now translating into Indian investments in Zimbabwe and Southern Africa and Africa as a whole. So we hope that during these discussions during the Indian Energy Week, we'll be able to network and see the possibilities of those who can come and invest in Africa.
Can we see any MOUs or any deal happening between India and Zimbabwe?
Well, we hope so. And in the past, when we have signed the MOUs, those are having fruition. And I have an Indian company which is investing in our energy sector, in the thermal sector, and we hope that we can sign others in solar and in other renewables, such as hydro.
A Gweru farmer has established a solar plant at a farm which is set to contribute to the national grid as the country continues to make strides in harnessing renewable energy. Our Midlands Bureau Chief, Tafaraj Kumira, files the following report.
It's a move meant to boost the use of green energy. The commissioning of this solar plant at this farm signifies the commitment by indigenous farmers in propelling the agricultural revival efforts being led by government for food security and sustenance. With this plant said to be producing around 44 kilowatts against the requirements of 10 kilowatts at any given time, this goes on to show how the investment will help in terms of feeding the national grid.
This plant is connected through what we call a net meter. At this point, the client is producing 44 kilowatts. The MD for this premise is 10 kilowatts. So the 34 kilowatts will be banked with the ZTT-DC, so that in the event that there is no sunshine and the plant is not producing, the client is able to withdraw the power that she would have banked with the ZTT-DC. And this excess power contributes in closing the energy gap that we have as a country.
The farmer says she invested in solar energy to complement government efforts on the adoption of green energy and support horticultural activities.
Green energy is not government conventional power because it's shoma atikwane saka tofana kunge tichiwanza kuita masola because zuva deremara.
Botswana's ambassador to Zimbabwe, Excellent Sarah Molosiwa, commended the farmers' initiative, saying the region requires such investments to ensure self-sustenance.
Agriculture remains at the heart of my government transformation agenda as a dynamic engine for inclusive growth, job creation, and export diversification.
It is efforts being made by private entities like these that will see the country achieving reliable alternative sources of energy that is critical for sustainable development. Tafaraj Kumira, ZBC News, Gweru.
The trial of prophetic healing and deliverance, a PhD ministry's leader, Walter Magaya, who is facing allegations of raping two of his congregants, is expected to commence on the 2nd of March after his application for refusal of further remand was dismissed.
Magaya, through his legal representatives, led by Mr. Admire Rubaya, filed an application on Monday before Harare Regional Magistrate, Mr. Francis Mapfumo, challenging his further remand. Magaya is accusing the state for delaying the commencement of trial. This Tuesday, the court dismissed his application, meaning the trial will now proceed as scheduled on the 2nd of March. According to court documents, the rape allegations date back to 2013 when he reportedly raped the ill complainant. He is also being accused of raping another complainant while in South Africa. On Monday, the PhD leader was also slapped with 4 additional rape allegations and he was remanded in custody to the 16th of next month. The PhD leader is also facing 78 counts of fraud, with the matter set to be heard on the 27th of March. Peter Jivima, ZBC News, Harare.
More than 600,000 people have been affected by flooding across southern and central Mozambique, particularly in Gaza, Maputo and Sofala provinces, after heavy and persistent rainfall since mid-December.
According to Mozambique's National Disasters Management Institute, flooding has affected at least 600,000 people, displaced hundreds of thousands, and destroyed at least 300,000 homes, with the numbers expected to increase due to ongoing search and rescue operations. Some of the hardest hit cities include Maputo and Chokwe. Agriculture officials have also reported that the flooding has affected at least 180,000 hectares of crops and the loss of more than 150,000 cattle. Health experts have also warned that there is a high risk of cholera, diarrhea, and other waterborne diseases. Mozambique, a nation of 34 million people on the southeastern coast of Africa, has borne the brunt of devastating cyclones and a crippling drought in recent years. Several provinces have been hit by these floods, with conditions in 3 of them described by authorities as critical. Flooding caused by prolonged rainfall has affected several SADC member states, with Mozambique and South Africa being the hardest hit. On the 22nd of this month, President Emmerson Mnangagwa responded to requests for support from Mozambique and Malawi, which saw the country dispatching emergency food assistance and deploying a rescue mission to Mozambique. John Nandara, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, for these and other stories in detail, you can log on to our website, zbcnews.co.zw. We'd also love to know your views and comments, so you can visit our X handle at ZBC News Online, or our Facebook page, ZBC News Online, as well as our YouTube channel, ZBC News Online. And for stories to expect in the bulletin, police probe over 130 scamming cases. Zimbabwe Football Association launches sport management program. That and more after the break. Do stay tuned.
Fire Net One. Every $10 recharge brings you closer to amazing prizes, including smart TVs, cell phones, and the grand prize solar kit. See Net One online platforms for details.
Feel the vibe. Enjoy. See Ajabula. Enjoy.
Terms and conditions apply. Net One, the world in one. At CBZ Bank, we understand the unique challenges and needs of those in the mining sector. So we offer a comprehensive suite of financial services tailored specifically for this sector. Our lease finance scheme lets you easily acquire heavy mining equipment without breaking the bank. And with value chain financing, we help streamline your operations by providing funds for input suppliers and buyers within your supply chain. Need extra cash flow? Our overdraft facilities are here to help bridge any gaps in capital while you wait on payments from clients or investors. But that's not all. We also provide insurance services to protect against unexpected events that could disrupt your business, risk advisory and financial advisory services to ensure wise investments and strategic planning. CBZ Bank is committed to helping you succeed in the dynamic mining world. Trust us to be your partner every step of the way. CBZ Bank, partners for success.
A historic milestone is underway. It's the first temple of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Zimbabwe opened its doors to members of the public. This rare open house invites people from all backgrounds to step inside and feel the peace, beauty, and purpose of this sacred place. From 22 January to 7 February 2026, residents and visitors alike are all welcome. Come and see the Harare Zimbabwe Temple at 65 Enterprise Road, Harare.
Enroll today for our February 2026 intake at the Zimbabwe School of Mines.
We are offering certificate, diploma, and postgraduate programs in foundry technology, iron and steel making, mineral exploration, and many more. O-level holders and diploma holders are eligible to apply. Apply today before the 6th of February at sis.zsm.ac.zw.
On weekdays, Greg lives La Vida low-key. And on weekends, La Vida Loca. If smart choices mean a great deal to you, get a Dunked Crunch burger, a one-piece original recipe chicken, small chips, and a 330ml drink for only $8.50. Now, that's how you box clever.
Thank you so much for staying with us. India has pledged support for Zimbabwe's bid for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council, UNSC.
Zimbabwe and India have reaffirmed their strong political and economic partnership, pledging bilateral support on international platforms. This came out at India's 77th Republic Day in Harare this Monday, with the Asian country's representative to Zimbabwe, Ambassador Sri Brahma Kumar, pledging support for Zimbabwe's bid for a non-permanent seat on the UN Security Council.
India and Zimbabwe have extended reciprocal support to each other for their campaign for non-permanent membership to the United Nations Security Council. This support reflects our long and historical understanding and firm belief in global peace and a liberal world order. India also appreciates Zimbabwe's participation at the Voice of Global South and India-led initiative.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Professor Emon Muriya, confirmed Zimbabwe will also support India's candidature for the 2028 to 2029 United Nations Security Council seat bid.
Zimbabwe's doctrine of foreign relations and international cooperation underscores that diplomacy and cooperation are inseparable from development. India, with its dynamic economy and rich cultural heritage, is a natural partner in this journey. We see huge potential in expanding cooperation in agriculture, tourism, education, science and technology, and health. Therefore, we look forward to the next session of Zimbabwe-India diplomatic consultations and the Joint Permanent Commission Cooperation, JPCC. We should give impetus to our efforts to further deepen, broaden and consolidate the excellent relations that exist between our two countries.
Zimbabwe and India enjoy strong bilateral relations which have attracted huge investments across various sectors of the economy. India has been key in supporting small to medium enterprises, investment in the energy sector and pharmaceuticals. Bruce Jawanda, SABC News, Harare.
The ruling ZANU-PF party has honored its long-serving employees with Party Secretary General Advocate Jacob Mudenda paying tribute for their dedication to duty. The Long Service Awards ceremony was held at the party headquarters in Harare this Tuesday.
This Service Awards is an expression of gratitude to all our staff. You are the engine that gives power to the operations of our revolutionary party. Without the staff, the politicians who compose the political party cannot function without your expertise in running the offices. This is how important you are, the engine of the party. Now, the engine must be oiled. It needs water for it to function effectively. And this is the oiling, this is the watering that we are planting today. There is no one in the leadership of our workforce that is greater than the other. If you are a director, you are a driver, you clean, you are important.
Over 130 cases linked to alleged scammers are being investigated by law enforcement agents as part of a broader effort to combat online and financial fraud targeting mostly the vulnerable.
They are enticing, they come in several forms. Cybercriminals are increasingly targeting users with phishing messages, fake buying applications, fake customer care numbers, and imposter texts designed to harvest one-time passwords, codes which banks and payment applications use to verify transactions. Once obtained, criminals gain unauthorized access to bank accounts, digital wallets, and social media profiles. Citizens have voiced concern over the vice which is affecting the social fabric, with several people, particularly vulnerable groups such as the elderly, falling prey. One of the victims explains how he was scammed through a fake money transfer message.
Posta konzo pa Facebook marketplace andika ndokubva ndatowana bhaya saka ndirakira ngari kuti anowena ne mari anosenda through ecocash akabva tume community drive ari community drive ari patra plus saka yochi kazinza kweziredi saka achisvika pane ziapo mashopsa ndokubva anditi ubva ndisendera mari yanichi ne wood remit ndokubva tawirirana kuti inini ndakunozotora mari then ndomba konzo iyo but no aichi mikufana kuenda naso kune mwana wake ndati ano it's fine since mari ndaiona ndikandese kanumbe konzo mapera ndakamita konzo chipomba konzo ndauda unotora mari zvikanzi mari haisichi haitoreki.
Other citizens have noted the need for caution when using online platforms.
Mazuvano nenyaya yetechnology kuskema kwatonyanyisa nekuti vanhu vanoshandisa social media nemamwe online platform.
Ungave nefoni anoshandisa usangoiti notification ese angouye uchingomona bloka zvinhu zvasingaziye ende wopindura message yaunoziya.
Financial institutions and mobile service providers have intensified public warnings after a surge in such cases where criminals are luring victims through fake mobile applications and social media platforms before draining their accounts using one-time passwords. Police have confirmed over 136 cases are under investigation.
As of last week, we had almost 136 cases which were being investigated by the Criminal Investigation Department's Commercial Crime Division, and we have also partnered with service providers, the cell phone companies, to conduct awareness campaigns, to also alert the public.
Over the years, Zimbabweans have flagged scams such as the one popularly known as Chadona and Ponzi schemes, among many others, hence the need for vigilance among the citizenry. Pavo Makona, ZBC News, Harare.
Young people are playing an active role in the development of the country with an agro-tourism site known as Gwateri in Mondorongezi district of Mashonaland West province emerging as a practical example of how rural settings can be transformed into viable and sustainable businesses.
Gwateri is not just a place, it is an experience. This is a transformation which happened because the young boy dreamt. Terence Maposa, who lives in this deep Rurongezi area, transformed this area, and today it is a shining example of agro-tourism.
I want to encourage my youth, farming or rural life is plan B. It can actually be plan A. It is a side hustle. It's not to eat as a main hustle. That's why I'm going to plan every day and farm day. Well, this is my full-time job. So now my youth, whatever that comes into your mind, whether it's farming or any avenue you're farming, or anything to do with the rural transformation, do it. Go for it. There is someone out there who's waiting to be a customer.
Terry, who has a political science background, said he had to leave that qualification and pursue an alternative dream. Today, the place boasts as a tourism hub, attracting visitors not only locally, but from across the globe.
This was the only appealing option, Kwandiri. But political science and around Batsira, I think they can Batsira on how to have my personal relations, like getting to know people and just creating my networks.
Beyond offering a unique dining and cultural experience, the facility has become a source of livelihood for the local community.
Ukarima, unowana pekutengesera,
ukachengetawo zvipfuwo huku mbudzi unowana kuti pekutengesera.
Kudhara taifunga kuti kumusha kunonyadzisa but takutoziva kuti kumusha unokwanisa kuvandudza iwo ukangorarama zvakangofanana nevari kurarama vari kutaura.
The success story has also drawn the attention of government, with the youths urged to utilize ancestral lands for productivity.
Zvatinokurudzirwa namai vedu Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa ndo zvatiri kutoona panapa kuti we can really develop our rural areas kuti ive misha inonakidza kutarisa, inonakidza kuuya, inonakidza kutosvika tichinakirwa zvatinongoita kana tichienda kune dzimwe nyika. Ndo agrotourism yakalonjwa naamai Mnangagwa.
Kwateri is a shining example of what young people can achieve if they put their mind and determination towards pursuing a goal. This is an idea which is a brainchild of the First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, of promoting agrotourism across the country. And the message is clear that young people should maximize on the opportunities being availed by government. Tamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Ngezi.
Talk of breaking limitations, a very inspiring story there from Ogwateri. And now the milling industry is benefiting from the conducive operating environment created by the Second Republic, with Marondera-based Edurate investments among companies expanding operations. This comes after a capital injection of more than $4 million United States to ramp up its flour milling capacity in line with the industrialization roadmap.
The expansion drive will see the company's flour milling production capacity increasing from 1,000 to 5,000 tons per month. The development comes after yet another significant investment into the milling industry in Mtare, where Mega Market established a multi-million-dollar flour milling plant as local companies improve their footprint in the sub-sector. Site manager Mr. Nomo Nakwayenda is convinced that the $4.2 million United States investment will catapult the company to be the third largest milling firm in the country after National Foods and Blue Ribbon Foods Zimbabwe.
We are currently undergoing an expansion project. We are expanding our mill from 1,000 tons per month to 2,000 tons per month, by way of adding more machinery that we have imported from Turkey. We are also undergoing another expansion project in Harare, where we are putting up a 3,000 ton per month mill, flour mill. In terms of capacity, once these expansion projects are complete, Maron, there will be 2,000 tons of wheat milled per month, and Harare will be 3,000 tons of wheat milled per month.
The company is also expanding its storage capacity at its Marondera depot, with the project expected to be completed this year, while a 2,500-ton silo has already been completed. The expansion of the milling industry is also creating employment and increasing availability of flour in the country.
It's going to increase my employment opportunities. I am one of the people who benefited from it.
Ndagara panapo kwamakore over about 15 years ndiri pano tinoita zveflower satikona kambani yedu kukura.
Washandi wachati wande mabasa achati wande muno chete zveflower ndifunga tichawanika muno muZimbabwe because tinotenda nekuti wheat iri kurimwa.
The growth in the milling sector reflects on the investor confidence in the local agro-processing industry, with the expansion expected to create additional employment opportunities and contribute to improved flour supplies as well as realization of the national food security. Kenya Sivuje, ZBC News, Marondera.
Dr. George Manyaya has been appointed the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority new Chief Executive Officer. In a statement, the ZTA board said Dr. Manyaya's appointment takes effect from the 1st of February 2026. Dr. Manyaya's mandate includes positioning Zimbabwe as a competitive tourist destination, driving tourism development, and enforcing industry standards. The board said Dr. Manyaya joins the ZTA with a commendable reputation for leadership across several key sectors that underpin the tourism value chain, including aviation, transport, telecommunications, and energy. Dr. Manyaya moves from ZESA Holdings, where he was the Marketing, Communications, and Stakeholder Relations General Manager. He holds a doctorate in Business Management a master's degree in international relations, strategic management and corporate governance, as well as a bachelor's degree in business management. Dr. Manyaya is not new in the tourism sector, as he once worked as a tourism brand ambassador and as a member of the organizing committee for the 2013 United Nations World Tourism Organization General Assembly. And with that, we take a short break and we will be back soon.
Finished Form 4 or Upper 6, but the future seems unclear? If A-levels weren't for you or your results didn't open the right door, there's another pathway. At Trust Academy, we build custom routes to success. O-level graduates can skip A-levels and start a professional diploma immediately. For A-level graduates, see your results not as a dead end, but as a detour onto our path. We offer accredited diplomas through prestigious university partners: Midlands State University, Great Zimbabwe University, and Shinhoi University of Technology. Your diploma is also a powerful bridge to a degree. We offer flexible learning to fit your life. Stop wondering which path to take. Visit our website or Facebook page to explore every pathway and enroll today.
We're kicking your year off in all her glory with more, because we got you. You get it? We got kicks, we got scores, we got action, we got roars. It's my specialty. We got drama, we got fun. We got more for everyone, with an upgrade on us just for you. More channels, more shows, more reasons to stay. We got you. DSTV, we got you all the way.
Bambo yemwana muri kutunzira zvinhu zvakaita zvitsaru zvakadare izvi. Mashayawo here zvimwe zvinhu zvingobva kumwe kunyika dzakasiyana siyana.
Ndipo patiri kutaura kuti kurasa chiri mumaoko ngekuda kuombera. Uyu muti mugoti idzi basengere aya. Handiti uri kuona kuti ichi ivhu iri remunyika munomu. Munyika masi muno mukacherechedza kuti hapana chatisina miti, zvicherwa, mhuka, zvese tinazvo. Tikatarisa kuEastern Highlands uku tine masamba, tikaenda kuHwange tine marasha, tobva taenda kuGreat Zimbabwe, Kariba, magetsi angogadziwa ipapo. Toenda pachiadzwa apa tine madiamonds. Saka muri kuona kuti hurumende ichirayira bazi redzidzo remuno muZimbabwe rakaparura dzidzo yakatsamira pazviwanikwa zvaso, kuitira kuti tisiyane nekatsika kekuti ifefe munyika muno tingotenga pfungwa dzewena wanhu wari kunze kwenyika. Toda zvinhu made in Zimbabwe. Toda kuti patinosvika muna 2030 tinge tatine pundutso yepakati nepakati. Saka heritage based curriculum idzidzo yekurodza pfungwa, miono, manzwiro, zvese nemaoko kuti tikwanise kuseenzesa zviwanikwa izvo tinazvo kuti tiite pundutso yekuti nyika yedu isumukire. Saka masoko andiri kukutaurira aya ari kubva kuMinistry of Primary and Secondary Education Zimbabwe.
Jirico Fire Net1. Every $10 recharge brings you closer to amazing prizes, including smart TVs, cell phones, and the grand prize solar kit. See Net1 online platforms for details.
Feel the vibe. Enjoy. Enjoy.
Terms and conditions apply. Net1, the world in one.
Welcome back. You're still watching the main news. And now in arts news, a major governance battle has erupted within the Zimbabwe Music Rights Association, Zimura, with some board members alleging severe financial mismanagement and self-enrichment at the expense of artists. The other group, however, has labelled the accusers as rogue elements who are seeking to damage Zimura's reputation.
The internal crisis at the National Music Rights Body has intensified, moving from artist complaints to open warfare among directors. Zimura board member Derek Mpofu has come out guns blazing against the current management, claiming the institution has lost direction.
Our only challenge with it has been what we can term as alleged misappropriation of funds, high salary payouts as to artists getting $10 or $5 or 36 as it may be. So we believe that right now it is mainly a management-focused institution more than the artist-focused institution.
In a firm, direct response, Zimura chairperson Alexio Gwenzi frames the issue as a breach of internal governance by a rebel group whose actions have forced the board to take disciplinary action.
You are free to come to Zimura. Zimura is an open book. We are audited each year by a reputable auditing firm. And this auditing firm is voted for or selected by membership at every AGM. We have a situation where a splinter group from the board decided to go against procedure, against Zimura governance protocols, and did things that we deem were damaging to the reputation of the organization. And according to our statutes, we are called upon to defend the organization and remove such elements from the board.
The public clash raises fundamental questions about accountability, transparency, and whose interests are truly being served at the heart of Zimbabwe's music royalties system. It also comes at a time when a number of artists have raised concern over the meager royalties they are getting from Zimura, which are as little as $80 United States. Farai Gwaze, ZBC News, Harare.
The main news takes a break. We will be back with sports news.
We're kicking your year off in all her glory. With more, because we got you. You get it? We got kicks. We got scores. We got action. We got roars. It's my specialty. We got drama. We got fun. We got more for everyone. With an upgrade on us, just for you. More channels, more shows, more reasons to stay.
We got you.
DSTV, we got you all the way.
Instructions are imposed. This may shorten the time between this suffering and the independence of South Africa, the majority in South Africa. But Margaret Thatcher would want us to continue suffering quietly.
Will you implement sanctions against South Africa?
Our Prime Minister is an honest man. What he says, he does.
And what is your plan now, given the list of sanctions drawn up by the Commonwealth in the summer and so on? What are you planning to do?
We are waiting for the signal and we implement.
But who are you waiting for?
The signal from the Commonwealth.
And now in sports news, Zimbabwe has missed out on a semi-finals place despite some encouraging individual performances in a 204-run defeat to India in the ICC Under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup Super 6 match at Queen Sports Club in Bulawayo this Tuesday.
The young Chevrons won the toss and elected to bowl, but were made to pay as five-time champions India piled on a commanding 352 for 8. Vian Malhotra anchored the Indian innings with a well-compiled 109 off 107 deliveries, while Vaibhav Suryavanshi added late impetus with a rapid 52 off just 30 balls to set Zimbabwe an imposing chase. In reply, Zimbabwe showed glimpses of promise through Leroy Chiwaula, who top scored with a composed 62 of 77 balls, while Kian Blicknout baited hard for 37 of 73 deliveries. Sazenda Chimugoro also chipped in with a brisk 29 of 29 balls, but the rest of the baiting lined up struggled against disciplined Indian bowling. Despite the individual efforts, Zimbabwe were eventually dismissed 448, falling well short of the target. With only 1 point from their abandoned fixture against Scotland, the young Chevrons can no longer reach the semi-finals. Zimbabwe will conclude their Super 6 campaign against Bangladesh on Sunday. Meanwhile, Pakistan comfortably chased down 111 against New Zealand, winning by 8 wickets, with a 197 ball to spare after reaching 112 for 2 in 17 overs. Action continues this Wednesday, with the defending champions Australia taking on West Indies. Anna Shemrombedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
Zimbabwe has taken a major step towards professionalizing sports administration after the Zimbabwe Football Association launched the FIFA International Program in Sports Management in collaboration with the International Center for Sports Studies and the Midland State University in Harare this Tuesday.
In biblical and spiritual terms, the number 21 symbolizes completion through perseverance, and that symbolism has now found a purpose through expression in sport as Zimbabwe becomes the 21st nation to offer the FIFA International Program in Sports Management, CIS. The one-year program, which was introduced globally in 2004, places Zimbabwe among an elite group committed to developing excellence in sports leadership and administration. The launch comes exactly a year after the current ZIFA board assumed office. The ZIFA president says the program is designed to address long-standing governance challenges and create a strong foundation for success.
The FIFA CIS International Program in Sports Management is globally recognized as one of the most respected pathways for developing capable, ethical, and forward-thinking sports administrators. The future of football in Zimbabwe depends not only on talent on the pitch, but on competence of it.
Midland State University is ready to deliver quality education.
We are bringing a curriculum that is tailor-made to address local sporting needs while it's maintaining international standards.
The FIFA CIS International Program in Sport Management is a multi-sport in nature, offering a training in communication, sports law, marketing, sponsorship, finance, and investment management.
By providing skills, knowledge to sports managers, we work for a better image.
Special mention should go to ZIFA for its foresight and dedication to the professionalization of the football and sport landscape in Zimbabwe.
A government also welcomed the development, citing that it resonates well with the national development agenda to develop and capacitate sports leaders, making it a sports industry.
When these entities unite around a shared vision for excellency, informed by integrity and professionalism, the outcomes are not only sustainable but transformative.
The international program in sports management will be offered using a globally recognized curriculum from the International Center for Sports Studies and will be catering for all sports disciplines, not just football. Lawrence Treseda, ZBC News, Harare.
Premier Soccer League champions Scotland will play Eswatini champions Nsingizini Hotspurs in a friendly match next Wednesday as they prepare for the 2026 Castle Premier Soccer League season.
Mavira have taken their talent to South Africa and Eswatini for a month-long pre-season training camp. Their busy schedule includes a friendly match against Eswatini champions Nsingizini Hotspurs on the 4th of next month. Led by new coach Norman Mapeza, Scotland will face a team that eliminated Simba Bora from the CAF Champions League. The preparations come as Scotland aim to defend their title and make history by competing in the CAF Champions League. The Mavoko Best side are also working on having another friendly with a Champions League playing team. Scotland will kick off their 2026 season with the Castle Challenge Cup encounter against the Chibugu Super Cup winners Dynamos on the 28th of February. Meanwhile, Scotland have extended winger Tadua Nashicha Kuchichi's contract on a 2-year deal, with the talks of a longer and more beneficial partnership on the horizon. The teenager scored 4 goals Heroes last season and was also named in the senior national team that took part at the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. Anna Shemrombedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
The Mighty Warriors are expected in camp on Sunday as preparations for the 2026 COSAFA Women's Championship get underway. Head coach Sitatelelwe Kwinje 15 Sibanda has named a blended squad combining fresh faces and experienced players as Zimbabwe aim for a better outing after bowing out at the group stage in their last COSAFA tournament. The Mighty Warriors head into the regional tournament encouraged by their title-winning performance at last year's Three Nations tournament in Malawi, where they overcame Malawi and Zambia to lift the trophy. The 2026 COSAFA Women's Championship runs from the 18th of February to the 1st of March, with defending champions Zambia among the favorites. And we now give you the weather report.
A pleasant evening, Zimbabwe, and welcome to tonight's weather report and forecast of Afanjuba, with a bit of scattered clouds over the northeastern parts of the country, covering Matabeleland North as well as parts of Mashonaland West, where we had just 7 millimeters of Victoria Falls area. The rest of the atmosphere was generally clear, with clouds gathering in by afternoon, mostly from the southwest as well as the northwestern parts of the country. Tomorrow we're expecting still the northwestern parts of the country, covering Matabeleland North, to be where most of our rain should be, where we're expecting just a little bit of falls. Nothing beyond 20 millimeters is projected there. The rest of the week, most of our moisture is going to be over those northern parts, with the rest of the atmosphere generally under clear skies, with mostly sunny and warm conditions. For tonight, we're expecting it to be mild overnight, with most of our temperatures above 15, some going as high as 19 and 22 along the Zambezi and Limpopo Valley. By afternoon, those go to 30, whilst the interior is mostly in the upper 20s for much of the period. Thus, for areas such as Bulawayo in the south, we're expecting mostly sunny skies, with temperatures rising to about 30. Same for Matopo, also in the southwestern parts of the country, we're expecting our sunny skies, and same for Kwanda, which is a maximum of 30 and 31 on Wednesday and Thursday. As we get into Gweru, which is in the Midlands area, we're expecting still sunny skies, with our maximums reaching up to 29 for Wednesday and Thursday, whilst Masvingo reaches 28 on Wednesday and 29 by Thursday, and the same for much of this week. For Mutare, we're expecting brief cloudy periods around Friday into the weekend, but it shouldn't change our temperatures that much. Same for Nyanga, with slight cooling into the weekend, just by about 3 degrees Celsius. For Marondera, we're expecting those cloudy episodes to be there, here and there, but nothing significant, as we're expecting maximum to be maintained for the first 2 days. Harare also following suit, with maximums in the 28 range, only falling into the weekend to about 24. For Kadoma, we're expecting mostly sunny skies, with temperatures not changing that much for much of the period. Chinoy also under the influence of the ITCZ over the northern parts, slightly cooling the temperatures as we get into the weekend. Victoria Falls, mostly sunny skies, with most of our temperatures not changing that much. Same for Lupane, with mostly sunny skies for much of the period into the weekend. For Bindura, we're expecting just the touches of the ITCZ to affect it, with 26 into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. For Karibu, we're expecting our maximums not to change that much, with mostly sunny skies prevailing over that period. With that, we wish you a pleasant week ahead, and it's back to the news desk.
Many thanks there for the weather report, and we've come to the end of this news bulletin for tonight. From Nobu Mawunga on the sign language desk, myself, Dora Ncube, and the crew behind the scenes, have yourselves a lovely evening.